Hooday, Bengal fans. He is Mon. I am Jake. This is the Bengals Pulse, the heartbeat of our Cincinnati Bengals. And that man right there, the man of the hour, Mon. The deal is done. The Bengals tweeted out how we all feel right about now. I love it. Once again, the Bengals hit a home run. Their media department is just incredible. Joe Burrow becomes the highest paid player, in NFL history by the cheapest organization in the NFL. I think, those words are now done. We've talked about it on the show. People love to live in the past of this Bengals franchise, this poverty franchise. This team pays their quarterbacks, and once again, they have paid the man, Joe Burrow, 5-year extension, $275 million, 219 guaranteed, 7 years, 7 years. Joe Burrow is going to be a Bengal. How are you feeling right now, my man?
I'm still a little numb. I love the timing. I absolutely love it. Right at the first quarter of the Chiefs
Great.
Lions game,
Great.
perfect timing. A little bit of trolling by the Bengals there.
It's great.
We all knew it was going to happen. We thought it would happen a little bit sooner. The money is well deserved. It's a 5-year extension on top of the two that he currently has. They have him until 2029. 219 million guaranteed, 275 total. I mean, wow. And you hit it right on the head. I guess Bengal fans are sensitive about the poverty franchise. Jake, you hit it. We've talked about it in the past. All the way back from Kenny Anderson to now, the Bengals have always paid their quarterbacks. Boomer was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. Carson Palmer was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL at one time, and now so is Joe Burrow. Everybody out there, the reporters that don't want to follow this and don't are lazy, they need to just be quiet, because when they say the Bengals are cheap, there's a long history, over 35, 40 years of paying quarterbacks. And if anybody was out there trying to sow doubt, they were wrong and they were mistaken. Joe Burrow is property of the Cincinnati Bengals for the next 7 years.
It's incredible, and you and I kind of talked about it last night. This now gives Joe Burrow's contract is basically 7 years, $316 million over the next 7 years. Of course, not all of that guaranteed, but a large part of it guaranteed. Again, we're very sensitive. I'm very sensitive to the poverty thing. I think that's lazy reporting. I think it's something that people really don't look at in detail. You said it perfectly. Boomer was the highest paid quarterback. Carson Palmer was the highest paid quarterback. They gave Andy Dalton over $100 million. And now Joe Burrow. And let's really look at this, over the entire offseason here. This Bengal – all we heard about was the Bengals were not going to be able to get all these things done, right? And what do? They extend Trey Hendrickson. They extend Logan Wilson. They extend Joe Burrow. One more name on that list, One more name on that list, and T. Higgins. But this team, we talked about it off air, has dished out $350 to $375 million of new contract money to their own players. It just absolutely incredible what this organization is doing. And Joe Burrow, he said it. I love it. They practiced today. He said after practice, he was like, look, this is where I want to be. I want to be a Bengal for life. This is where I want to be. And, he said it perfectly. He said it in his press conference on Wednesday. He said, listen, this is going to get done. Basically, we're working out the details, but I want to be a Bengal for life. And man, the next 7 years, Mom, we get to watch the best quarterback in the NFL. It's just absolutely incredible. And I love what you said, Mon. How fitting is it? We have been waiting for this for so long. Do you think maybe the Bengals purposely waited for the Chiefs to kick off? I mean, how great is it to just go out and completely steal the Chiefs' thunder coming off of a Super Bowl win? Nobody even knows a football game is going on right now. It's all about Joe Burrow, and it should be.
Jake, you're naming off all these players and contracts. We forgot Orlando Brown, Jermaine Pratt
Orlando
also.
Brown, Jermaine
I'm doing some
Pratt.
very rough math here, give or take $1 million or $2 million, just total contract value. The Bengals have spent over $400 million in money this year on signing players. $400 million. You know what winning does? Winning is good for business. The Bengals went. Yeah, the Bengals went from their net worth was $2.8 billion or $2.6 billion according to Sports Track, not Forbes, another company called Sports Track. They went up from 2.4, 2.5 to $4 billion in net worth. Still, compared to other NFL teams, it's low. They've a 41% increase in value. You know why? Because they're winning. New sponsorship deals. People are selling out this. I mean, there's a wait list for the stadium. Uh, the Bengals are in demand, and it's good for business. And you're seeing it because they're investing in players. I think they spent $40 million in renovating the stadium out of their own pocket. Yeah, the haters, the fan bases, the Browns, the Ravens, the Steelers, all these other the Chiefs that come on Twitter and Spaces and say what they want to say. Let them. You know why they say it? They say it because they know we're for real. They know we're going to be relevant for years, and they know we're a threat. And I got in a little debate with a Browns fan. They talk about their quarterback, Watson, crickets. Would you rather have Burrow or Watson? I'm still waiting for a response from him. All right. And his lack of response pretty much tells me he would rather have Burrow.
Of course.
It's just, it's just a clown show on Twitter and friends of ours that are fans of opposing teams. But listen, I beyond happy that Joe Burrow is going to be with us. He's the face of the franchise. He's not just a regional sports star. He's a international sports star. The Bengals haven't had many of those in their 50-plus year existence. We had Chad Johnson that was. Kenny Anderson at one time made some national commercials. So did Boomer. But the Bengals haven't had a lot of guys that are a national face. Well, Joe Burrow is one of them. I think Jamar Chase is going to become one of them. I'm hoping they can work something out with T. Higgins. Some reports coming out today about, I guess he's waiting for Jefferson and all these other guys to sign. I hope that's not the case, because if he wants Jefferson money, that's going to be hard to do, because Chase is going to get that also. But we'll worry about that later. I think with Burrow being here, Higgins and other superstars in the NFL will want to come to Cincinnati.
Well, I think maybe Joe Burrow, I think maybe this was the domino that needed to fall now. And now the Bengals can kind of focus all of their attention on T and try to get that deal done. Eric just reminded us, too, that, we talk about guaranteed money, and the Bengals have never been known about throwing that around. But the Orlando Brown deal, $31 million guaranteed to Orlando Brown that the Bengals dealt out to him. And now they deal out almost $220 million guaranteed to Joe Burrow. A lot of guaranteed money. Again, you said it, Mon. Winning is good for business, and business is pretty damn good right now. I think that this as a whole, what we have seen these last couple years, and again, the Bengals have always given money to quarterbacks. They've always paid their quarterbacks well. But what we've seen these last 2 years has really exemplified and really has come full circle tonight, right? And seeing what we have seen the Bengals do these last 2 years, and now going out and making Joe Burrow the highest paid player in NFL history is just incredible, Mon. It's truly incredible. Adam Schefter tweeted this out, and this to me is incredible. I want you to listen real quick. This is Joe Burrow's 5-year run. Okay, you ready? Adam Schefter tweeted this out not too long ago. In 2019, Joe Burrow wins the national championship and the Heisman Trophy. In 2020, he was drafted number 1 overall. In 2021, he was named Comeback Player of the Year and reached the Super Bowl behind a very, very bad offensive line. I threw that part in. In 2022, reaches the AFC Championship game, and in 2023 lands the biggest contract in NFL history. You said it, Mon. Joe Burrow is not just a national icon. He has become an international icon. And how great is it that we as Bengal fans have our signal caller being one of the most, I don't want to say one of the most popular, but one of the biggest figureheads right now for the NFL. It's incredible, Mom.
Yeah, he's becoming. I don't want to say he's the face of the NFL, but you notice some of the promotions coming up for Sunday Ticket and other NFL features. You see Joe Burrow on there, and that wasn't always the case with the Cincinnati Bengals. He is a very popular figure in the NFL, in the sports world, and I just said it a few minutes ago. The Bengals haven't had a lot of guys like that, and it's good to have him to be in the face of this franchise for the next 7-8 years. I love the fact you did mention Orlando Brown. He got that $31 million signing bonus, but he also got a $60+ million contract. Like I said, over $400 million in guaranteed, or not guaranteed, and money and new contracts for 5 players. Man, hats off to the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm so happy. And recently, Jake, we talked about it. Eric, our producer, sent out a tweet this morning to all of us, or text. And it drove me crazy. It was about a local reporter had said something on one of her podcasts, and I listened to it immediately. And it's the first 5 minutes of the show. Joe Burrow's injury prone, and she insinuated maybe that's could be a hang up why the contract's not being signed. Well, I guess that injury prone quarterback's going to be just fine. $275 million, and it was a horrible take by this sports reporter. I want to say this to everybody that watches our show. I don't expect sports reporters, beat writers to be Bengal fans. I don't expect them to be homers. I get it. They have to ask tough questions and they have to be critical of the team at times. But what was said in that podcast today, that was ridiculous. That was a poor take. And to blame his appendectomy as a reason to say he's injury prone, come on. He hasn't missed a game in 2 years. In 2 years, he hasn't missed a game. It's just ridiculous.
Well, again, I think Eric hit it on the head perfectly. That it's the national media's job to try to get clicks and to try to make these ridiculous hot takes. It is not the job of the local media, the media that is covering the franchise. It's honestly, Mon, it's very inappropriate, and it's Bush League is what it is. And again, that's not their job. That's not the local media's job. The local media is to report on the team, not to try to make hot takes. And of course, that was a very cold take, and just a ridiculous thing to say.
We haven't said the reporter's name, and we're not. Everybody knows who it is. There's no need to say their name. Sorry, but they've had some issues over the last few months, and a lot of people on Twitter are going back. They're not happy with this reporter. There's a lot of people out there that stick up for her. They're crickets today. Not one person that normally sticks up for the reporter. They've been silent because what this reporter said was, I don't want to use the word inappropriate, but it was a poor take. It was Bush League. It was somebody of that caliber, a local reporter that writes for a major publication in the state of Ohio. That's just a ridiculous take. They should be embarrassed.
Well, this is the thing, Mon, is that no matter what's reported and what is said, it's done, right? It's done. And I think, again, I think all of these takes that all these media reporters are trying to get, all this clickbait and all that stuff, that it's starting to look ridiculous. And I think the Bengals organization is putting all those people in their place. And again, kudos to them. Is there even a game going on? I honestly have not watched a snap of this game going on. What's the score? Is it halftime?
Yeah, I turned the TV off. It's 14-7.
Chiefs?
Right before we started recording, it was 3rd and 17. I thought the ball was picked off, and it went right through the Detroit Lion defender's hand.
Of course.
And Kansas City caught it. We'll see. Detroit's playing them tough. It's going to be a second half, but I'm not worried about the Chiefs right now. The Cincinnati Bengals, let's take care of business 1 week at a time. I don't
think anybody cares about the Kansas City Chiefs right now. I think everybody is focused on Joe Burrow.
Let Mon have a hot take real quick. I know we're about to call it quits here.
Mm-hmm.
Kansas City's not going to win their division. It's not going to happen.
No.
They will not win their division.
Mon, I'm not worried about Kansas City Chiefs. I'm telling you right now. I'm not worried about the Kansas City Chiefs.
They're a playoff team, but yeah. I think the Chargers are going to win that division. Leave it at that.
All right. Well, listen, hey, once again, Bengal fans, Joe Burrow now is a Bengal for the next 7 years, $316 million over the next 7 years to the best quarterback in football. Guys, once again, if you like this podcast, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this podcast. Check us out on all the awesome podcast platforms, Apple, Stitcher, Spotify. Give Mon and I that 5-star review. We would very much appreciate it. Follow him at The Fire Mon on Twitter. Follow me at Coach Jake Owens 9. Follow the Bengals Pulse at Bengals_Pulse9 on Twitter. On Instagram, the same without the at Bengals_Pulse9. As always, check out all the awesome podcasts right here on the Wincinnati Podcast Network.
Thank you, Eric.
Yes, thank you, Eric. Hooday, Bengal
Come
fans.
up, Eric. Come up and say hooday. Come up, Eric.
Where's he at?
There he is.
There he is.
Hooday, Eric.
Hooday. All right. Hey, listen, guys. Hey, we're going to come back at you here in the next couple days, but we just wanted to bring you this podcast tonight and talk about this incredible news, guys. Joe Burrow, a Bengal for 7 years. Let's get it Sunday. Here we go. Hooday, Bengal fans.
Hooday, let's go.
Take care, guys.